Hello, I'm Suci Cahya Ningrum. So I'm going to talk about the novel Woman at the Point Zero by Nawal El-Saadawi. So I'm gonna start with the plot. The story starts when a female psychiatrist visits a prison in Egypt to interview Firdaus, a woman sentenced to death for killing a man. Firdaus grows up in a poor family. Her father is violent and her mother has no power. As a child, she's already abused and treated unfairly. When both of her parents die, she moves in with her uncle, who at first seems kind but ends up sexually abusing her too. Later, she's forced into a marriage with an older man. He beats her and treats her like a property. Firdaus runs away and ends up in the streets. She then meets a man named Bayomi who offers to help her, but he locks her in and lets men rape her. After escaping again, she meets Sharifa, a female pimp who teaches her how to work as a prostitute. And then finally, when a male pimp tries to take control of her work and threatens her, Firdaus kills him. This act brings her to prison but also becomes the moment she feels most free because for once she chooses her own fate. Let's talk more about the characters in this novel. The main character in this novel is Firdaus. She's a woman who goes through so much pain from childhood to adulthood, but she keeps trying to take back control of her life. She's strong, brave, and smart. And then there's a Firdaus father, a traditional patriarch who feeds himself first even when the family is starving. And then Firdaus' uncle initially appears to support Firdaus by sending her to school, but sexually abused her. He is a symbol of familial betrayal. And then Sheikh Mahmud, an elderly abusive man chosen by Firdaus' uncle as a husband. He beats her and humiliates her, reducing marriage to a prison. And then there's also Bayomi, pretends to help Firdaus when she feels her husband, but later locks her up and allows other men to rape her. He shows false promise of male protection. His kindness is a trap. And there also Sharifa. She teaches Firdaus how to profit from her body, but only to serve male desire. She represents internalized patriarchy and how women can become agents of the very system that oppressed them. And then Ibrahim, a co-worker who offers emotional intimacy but abandons Firdaus to marry a socially acceptable woman. He symbolizes romantic betrayal. And the last one, the pimp, attempts to force Firdaus back under male control when she becomes an independent sex worker. He used violence and intimidation to assert ownership of her body. This novel deeply connects to moderate feminism, but also goes beyond that. It shows the everyday violence women face under patriarchy, at home, at school, at work, and even in the streets. Moderate feminism focuses on equality, education, and dignity. That's exactly what Firdaus wants. She wants to go to school. She wants a job. She wants to love and be loved. But every time the system of patriarchy shut her down. From child marriage to sexual abuse, from domestic violence to economic control, every part of Firdaus' life is shaped by men deciding what she's worth. Even when she tries to take back her power through prostitution, society still labels her dirty, while the men who buy her body are free. This shows how moderate feminism is not enough if society doesn't truly want to change. The novel doesn't just ask for better laws or education. It asks for deep listening and real accountability for how women are treated. And for me, it makes me wonder how much of our lives are shaped by quiet, accepted control. How many Firdaus are out there that hurting or unheard? Reading Woman at the Point Zero really opened my eyes to how dangerous patriarchy that people often ignore. Firdaus' life shows how a whole system is built to keep women silent, dependent, and afraid. From the very beginning, she was told that her body didn't belong to her, that her pain didn't matter, that men had the right to control her, whether they were her father, her husband, her boss, or even strangers on the street. This is the painful reality of patriarchy. It doesn't always come with a shouting of violence. Sometimes it comes with fake kindness, fake promises, or the idea that this is just the way life is. That's what makes it so dangerous. It teaches a woman to accept less, to stay quiet instead of live. For me, the strongest lesson from Firdaus' story is that being silent is not always the safest choice. Her whole life she was punished for trying to follow the rules. But when she finally broke them, when she said no more, she found her voice. And honestly, I admire her. She was brave in a way I can't even fully describe. No, not because she killed someone, but because she dared to say the truth, even when nobody cared, even when it cost her everything. She didn't beg for mercy, she didn't play the victim. She looked society in the face and said, "You made me this way." That kind of honesty takes so much strength, and I admire her not just as a character, but as a symbol of every woman who refused to be erased. This novel is not just a story, it's a mirror, and it made me ask myself, what kind of world do we live in where a woman like Firdaus feels more free in death than in life? Woman at Point Zero is not just about one woman, it's about all women who've been silenced, blamed, or erased. It asks hard questions and leaves us with no easy answers. But maybe that's the point. Sometimes literature is not here to comfort us, but to challenge us. Thank you for listening.